Have you ever had that moment where your past comes back to haunt you in the worst possible way? Well, buckle up, because what happened to me makes your worst Monday look like a vacation. My name is Alex, and this is the story of how my ex tried to destroy my career with one malicious package. But karma had other plans. Trust me, you won't believe how this ends. Let me set the scene. It was a Tuesday morning, nothing special. I'd been working at Miller and Associates for 3 years, solid reputation, good relationships with my coworkers, and honestly, I was finally feeling like I'd put my life back together after a brutal breakup 6 months earlier. My ex, Jamie, and I had ended things, badly. Like, police almost got called badly. But I'd moved on. New apartment, therapy, the whole 9 yards. I thought that chapter was closed. I should have known better. I was sitting at my desk, halfway through my second coffee, when my coworker Sarah walked over with a box. "Hey Alex, this came for you, girl. Someone's got a secret admirer." She was smiling, teasing. The box was medium-sized, wrapped in plain brown paper with my name handwritten across the top. No return address, no company logo. And that handwriting, my stomach dropped. I knew that handwriting. I grabbed the box faster than I should have, mumbled something about it being personal, and practically ran to the empty conference room down the hall. My hands were shaking as I locked the door behind me. I stared at that box for a full minute. Part of me wanted to throw it away without looking, but I had to know. I tore open the tape. Inside, a nightmare. First, there were photos. Old photos from when Jamie and I were together, vacation pictures. Silly selfies. Nothing terrible yet. But then, there were the embarrassing ones. Me as a woman, dressed up for a ridiculous themed party, drunk and posing with a traffic cone. Me crying after a bad day at work, mascara running down my face. Me in my pajamas with a questionable stain, holding a pizza box. But it got worse. There was a stuffed animal I'd given Jamia, ridiculous teddy bear, holding a heart that said, "I love you, very much." Childish, I know. I'd been sentimental back then. And then, the note. It was typed, cold, calculated. "Dear Alex, thought your coworkers might want to know the real you. Hope your professional image survives this. You ruined my life, so I'm returning the favor. Sleep well. J." My blood ran cold. This wasn't just petty revenge. This was calculated humiliation. Jamie knew exactly where I worked, knew how much this job meant to me, and was trying to destroy everything I'd rebuilt. I shoved everything back into the box and tried to compose myself. But when I opened the conference room door, Sarah was standing right there. "Hey girl, you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost." I must have looked guilty as hell, because she glanced down at the box in my arms. And I swear one of the photos was sticking out just enough for her to see. Her eyes widened. By lunchtime, I could feel it. The whispers, the glances. Someone had seen something, and the rumor mill was already grinding. At 2 p.m., I got the email I'd been dreading. "Alex, please come to my office at your earliest convenience. David Mitchell, HR Director." My heart sank into my stomach. When I walked into David's office, he wasn't alone. My boss, Karen, was there too. Both looked uncomfortable. David cleared his throat. "Alex, we received some concerns today about a personal package you received at work. Company policy states that all mail delivered here should be wrapped. Can you explain what that was about?" I felt my face go red. I tried to explain that it was from my ex, that it was harassment, that I didn't ask for it, but the more I talked, the more defensive I sounded. Karen looked sympathetic but stern. "Alex, We're not accusing you of anything, but we need to make sure this doesn't become a workplace distraction. Can you assure us this won't happen again?" I nodded, humiliated, and left the office feeling like I'd just been scolded like a child. This was exactly what Jamie wanted. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the look on my boss's face, the whispers in the hallway, the smug tone of Jamie's note. Enough was enough. I pulled out my phone and called Jamie. It rang 3 times before that familiar voice answered. Well, how was work today, Alex?" I could hear the smile in their voice. They knew. "What the hell is wrong with you? You sent that to my job. Are you insane?" Jamie laughed. "Oh, come on. You destroyed my trust, my life. I just wanted to return the favor. Besides, it's not like I sent anything illegal. Just some ... memories. You had no right. This is harassment. Good luck proving that. Have fun explaining to your boss why your ex is so obsessed with you. Maybe they'll think you're the problem." The call ended. I was shaking with rage. But then ... something clicked. Jamie was right about one thing: they hadn't sent anything technically illegal. But they had sent it to my workplace. They had crossed a line. And I wasn't going to take it lying down. The next morning, I marched into David's office with the box, the note, and a printed timeline of every harassing text and call Jamie had made over the last 6 months. I wasn't asking for sympathy. I was asking for help. David listened carefully, took notes, and then said something that changed everything. "Alex, this is workplace harassment by a third party. We take this seriously. Let me make some calls." Within an hour, building security pulled footage from the front entrance, and guess what? Jamie had been there 3 days earlier. Lurking outside the building, waiting until they saw me leave for lunch. Then slipping the package to the front desk clerk while pretending to be a delivery person. It was all on camera. David contacted the company's legal team. They contacted the police. And suddenly, what Jamie thought was a clever prank turned into a legal nightmare. Trespassing, harassment, and because some of the items in the box were technically considered threatening communication, there was even talk of a restraining order. But here's the part that shocked me the most. My coworkers found out what happened. And instead of judging me, they rallied around me. Sarah brought me coffee and said, "Hey, we've all got exes. You handled this with way more class than I would've, girl." Even Karen pulled me aside and apologized. "Alex, I'm sorry we didn't take this more seriously from the start. You're a valued member of this team, and we've got your back." People I barely knew started sharing their own embarrassing breakup stories. Someone even joked about starting an ex-survivors club in the break room. I went from feeling humiliated to feeling ... supported. 2 weeks later, Jamie showed up at the building again. But this time, they weren't dropping off packages. They'd been summoned by HR and building security to answer questions about the trespassing incident. I wasn't there, but I heard all about it from David later. Apparently, Jamie walked in thinking they could talk their way out of it. But when they were shown the security footage, the police report, and the restraining order paperwork, their whole attitude changed. Jamie tried to backtrack, saying it was just a joke, that they didn't mean any harm. But the legal team wasn't having it. Jamie left that meeting with a no trespass order, a formal warning, and the knowledge that if they contacted me again, they'd face serious legal consequences. And me. I got an official apology from the company, a commendation from my boss for handling a difficult personal situation with professionalism, and a newfound respect from my coworkers. The package that was supposed to ruin me ended up ruining Jamie's plan instead. So what did I learn from all this? First, never underestimate the power of documentation. Those harassing texts I'd saved, they made all the difference. Second, not everyone is out to judge you. The people who matter will have your back when things get messy. And third, karma doesn't just exist in stories. Sometimes, the universe has a way of making sure people get exactly what they deserve. Jamie wanted to humiliate me, to destroy my career, to make me feel as broken as they felt. But all they did was prove that I was stronger than they ever gave me credit for. Oh, and one last thing, Jamie sent me one final text before the restraining order kicked in. It just said, "I can't believe you got me in trouble for this." I didn't even respond. I just blocked the number and moved on. Because some people never learn. But I did. And that's the real victory. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've ever dealt with a toxic ex or workplace drama, drop your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you handled it. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more revenge stories that prove karma is real. Until next time, stay strong, stay classy, and remember, the best revenge is living well.